Tesla's down slightly today, about 1.4%, with the S&P 500 down as well. And the entire world is worried about a potential WW3 that could occur, which would obviously be very bad for the world, very bad for humanity, very bad for the market. Now, as far as me, I don't really, pay attention to what's happening in the news. I'm not going to take any of that into my analysis. All that I'm going to currently do is focus on trading the technicals and trading the strategy that has gotten us to where we are today. That is the only thing that we can focus on, right? We can never focus on what's occurring in the market. We can never focus on what's going to happen in politics. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is the raw data, the raw numbers, and the raw trades. I don't care what's happening. You can see I only have a 64% win rate this year, but I don't care what's happening in the market. I only care about what's happening with the charts. So let's talk about that, and we'll lead with that first. Then we're going to go into the options market because there was some more unusual buying today on Tesla. Not quite as aggressive and wild as we saw yesterday, but still something that we should note. The first thing is going to be our Tesla trading bot. You guys know yesterday that our bot exited the position up here at about $263. Now, if you guys do want to get access to this and all of our trading bots, you can join our private academy. The link to that is in the description, and you can join our private Discord. I don't plug it that much because I'm not somebody who's here to only sell you something. Of course, if you do want to join the community, you can, but we have almost 10 free courses that will teach you how to trade entirely on your own, but a lot of people have been asking about them. So you know that we ended up closing that position out yesterday. Bot took a profit at 4 p.m., alerted the Discord community, and then we got a bit of a sell-off. Price sold underneath the 50 SMA, which is this yellow line here, but ended up bouncing. You're going to notice that the bot actually reopened another position at 2:30 p.m. today, right around the price of about $258.61. Now, the bot has a predetermined take profit of 2% after candle closure. So in most cases, it's about a 3% take profit because even though it's 2%, by the time the candle closes, we usually pull out for a little bit more of a profit. You're going to notice that, from here up to here was about 3.4%, even though we have a take profit of 2% on the bot. And then you'll also notice with the second trade that we had about a 2.6% return instead of just a 2% return. So what we're looking for is price to push up to $264 and $265. Stop loss on the bot will be 4%, which is a stop or basically a lower low here. So this is how we're planning on this to play out. Now, the one thing that this is not going to take into account is the bigger time frames. This is something that we have to look at by eye. We know that this is a winning strategy, and basically the bot is going to continue to play this uptrend until the trend eventually breaks, and then it'll look to exit. An example of trend breaking and bot losing is basically back here. We can look at CLSK, took a loss, has not re-entered until we start to trend once again. Now, if we look at the daily chart, which is a very strong time frame that we look for on Tesla, you're going to notice that we are pushed up into this liquidity zone, as we said. Last week, we were talking about potential highs of 260 to 270 before a pullback. And then with yesterday's buying, I was saying that there might be a chance that we don't see that. I'll be honest that with today's close, unless deliveries, which is going to be the big elephant in the room tomorrow, unless deliveries completely blow the roof off of things, which they could, there's a pretty big chance that I think Tesla will actually take this move back down to $240. We are closing with lower highs on this BX trender. Now, there have been times before where we're getting lower highs on the BX and then we get a breakout. So that could definitely occur. Because you have to understand, technicals are the most important thing that we're focusing on, but we do have to realize that if there's real-time unusual buying happening, that comes above the lagging technicals in most cases, because technicals are phenomenal, but they're always lagging. So when there's real-time buying, I kind of push that to the front of my analysis. So what we're going to see with bad earnings would be price pulling back down to lows of $240, which would catch up with this market bias. I do believe that worst case, like we said, price will pull back down to there before finding a bottom at 240 or 230 and then breaking out to $300 in the next couple of months. I still think that there's a chance for that, but I'm still heavily, literally to the gills loaded up on Tesla calls. I closed a small amount a couple days ago, but I'm still holding about 90% of my planned position. And what I'm going to do as my hedge is I have my TSLS trading bot on. And so what's going to happen is if TSLS starts to trend its way up, I'm just going to start trading that as my hedge against my calls. Today, we saw an alpha gold alert hit on Tesla, and this is one of the strongest unusual options buying alerts that we could have. It means that there is sustained buying and that there is a lot of unusual, basically it's encompassed by multiple bullish alerts. And so you're going to notice that the two biggest alerts that triggered this was this $12.20 $315 call. This triggered a repeater bullish flow and a steady bullish flow. If you guys want to learn how to read options flow in depth, go check out our course on unusual options mastery. It's completely free. The link to that and all of our courses are in the description. But this is very unusual because it has the three things that we look for and that we talk about within that course. That is going to be size, time, and urgency. If we isolate this flow, you're going to see the expiration of these contracts is going to be 12/20/2024. So these do not expire tomorrow or next week. This is most certainly a swing trade that has more than enough time on it. The second thing is going to be size. You're going to notice that between all of these orders, this is about $6 to $7 million that this person has built out within this position. That is not a small trade at all, especially on the options market. And you're also going to notice that there's a shitload of urgency here. The way that we can tell that this is a bullish position and the way that we can prove urgency just by looking at this order is these two little letters at the end of the details. You're going to see that AA and A mean above the ask. That's what AA stands for. And A stands for at the ask. This means that the person who bought this paid the worst price that they could pay for, and they actually paid even higher. They bid above the highest seller just to fill on this position. So this person could have lost $60,000 to $100,000 just filling this trade, which is crazy. The other thing is the strike price is modest compared to the ones we've seen recently. We saw 570, and I think 550 was the other one. This one's 315. So it seems that the bulls are buying this dip. Like we said, I think worst comes to worst, we'll see a pullback down to $240, potentially on poor delivery numbers. But I think overall, our $300 to $330 target on Tesla by the end of the year easily still stands. If you want to learn more about all of the indicators that you see in this video, as well as the proprietary settings and the step-by-step trading system that I've built, you can take all of our courses completely free with the link in the description.